Redditors who have met a former crush years later. How did it turn out? Crush on this really pretty girl that was in my study hall. And I always tried to steal glances and check her out and all that. But I would never have dared to ask her out. Anyway, about a year ago I got a text from a number I didn't know. And started talking to them. Surprise, surprise. It was her.
Oh.
She told me she used to write poems about me in study hall.
Oh.
He always said,
Oh, that could have been like a Cinderella story. Like you like her and she like you back. Oh my God. No, you didn't take the chance. Oh, that must hurt a lot. I mean, oh my God, that would have been a crazy good story. Yo, what's good, guys? Coming here today, we're gonna be looking at people who met a former crush later in life. How did it turn out? Be sure to leave in the comment section below if you have an ex and you met her later on in life, or have a ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, or married ex-divorce. Leave in the comment section below. Like to hear it. It's gonna be a pretty interesting video. Hopefully, you guys can get this video an early thumbs up. Greatly appreciate the support. And yeah, let's get right in. What is up?
had a crush on her all through freshman and sophomore year. She kissed me at the end of sophomore year. I failed to reciprocate.
Oh no.
Basically ran away from her. Extreme social anxiety. I switched schools after disappearing for the summer, not because of the kiss. But when school started again, I walked to her school every day for half of the year in hopes of having the balls to make a move. Saw her each day. Failed each day. She obviously got tired of waiting. Ended up with another guy.
Oh.
I gave up. Come end of senior year, she shows up at my school to see some guy. Saw me. Literally jumped into my arms and forced her phone number on me. Together 7 years come November. I proposed to her around a week ago. Edit. Thank you for the gold, you amazing person. Edit 2. For those who have asked. She said yes. Though the proposal was more of a discussion of the ring I am trying to have made for her.
Wow.
Social awkwardness FTW.
That is awesome. Like the girl actually made the move. Like, I want this guy. I bet she was dating another guy, but that guy wasn't treating her that well, and she was like, man, forget it. I'm gonna make the move. I really like this awkward guy right there, and I gotta put my phone number in there. And they're married for 7 years. That's a good ending.
My wife's former crush randomly messaged her on Facebook one day.
Uh-oh.
She FK'd him on day 2.
Oh.
She's now my ex-wife. She's jobless, living with his mom. And I have the kids. Edit. It would figure that this is my most upvoted post. My kids are 5 and 3, so they don't understand it much, but I'm hoping for the long game when they realize which parent was really there for them. My son still says hurtful things at times, like, I don't want to live with you anymore.
Oh.
I want to live with mommy when he's angry. Thank you everyone for making my week.
Sometimes the dad is showing some tough love to make sure the kids does the right thing,
Really needed to smile. It's my son's first week in kindergarten, and dealing with her through the process has been hell.
Yeah, like, gotta give kudos to the dad. Actually try to make his best. Taking a child as a single parent is extremely hard.
Found out she was fat and unattractive. Then I realized I was too. One of the most realistic replies. Ran into my high school crush because we were both on the same plane and seated across the aisle from each other.
What the
She's
heck?
a lesbian now.
Well, that was unexpected. She's a lesbian now.
Every day in high school for 3 years. 20 years later, she didn't remember me. It seems that the girls I was chasing in high school, if I see them now, it's like, I don't see what the big deal was. And then the girls I wasn't chasing, but in retrospect should have been, are all insanely gorgeous.
Uh-oh.
Funny. Smart. If I had a time machine, I'd go back and punch 15-year-old me right in the beanbag.
Yeah.
Idiot. I hear ya.
I agree. Like, girls that I never thought would be beautiful or never thought would be successful, turn out to be some of the most gorgeous ladies ever. Like I would punch myself too. Like if I could go buy entire, I would
I
definitely
was
do
too cool for band, so I tried to do sports. I sucked. Meanwhile, all the band girls were being finger blasted on the bus rides home while I was awkwardly missing layups on the basketball court. Last time I saw her when I was 12. I was 35 when I did some research on the internet and found her. I sent her a letter saying hi and was curious on how she was doing. Gave my email address and cell phone number. 3
Oh.
weeks went by and get a message through Facebook from her saying, "I'm fine. Married with twin boys.
Oh.
Don't contact me again."
Oh.
6 months go by and my parents get a phone call from a guy saying he's her ex-husband and wanted to talk to me.
Oh.
I call him from a friend's cell phone. He tells me that she's in a marriage with an extremely controlling husband and I should be careful. I thank him for letting me know and hang up. I've stayed away ever since.
Oh wow.
Had a
So
crush.
it sounds like she's in a very abusive relationship. That is definitely not the way to start a conversation. But the ex-husband was pretty good, like warning him that yeah, you should not contact her. I mean, it's almost you should contact her because you wanna maybe convince her to get out of that relationship.
I want to be a cop. I'll never be a F-kin firefighter. Firefighters are pussies. Cops are the
Why?
real men. He became an army firefighter. But instead of being humbled, he's still a total douche. Firefighters are fucking homos. Went out for drinks. Still fixated on her. Was given a chance. Got wasted and embarrassed myself by spending so much of the night talking about how much my younger self liked her. Extolling her virtues like it was years ago. Mentioned how crazy and awesome it was that I was finally getting my chance. It was sad as shit. I didn't realize how bad I f***ed up until I sobered up.
Oh
Woke up
no.
and immediately knew I would not be given a second opportunity.
Oh.
Saw her reactions and responses from the previous night with a sober eye. Realized the massive amount of "I'm going to be polite, but I've made a mistake" that was continuously written across her face. Embarrassing as shit. I'm cringing with you.
That is
Edit.
embarrassing.
FCK it. I'm not changing it. When I was in first year, I had the stupidest little girl crush on this guy in my program. And I had no idea how to express it. So I think I thoroughly creeped him out with my staring and pathetic attempts to get him to have coffee with me and such.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that was 8 years ago and I've really matured as a person since then. I hadn't even thought of him in years when I ran into him. I was actually excited to find out he worked at a store I was planning to go to. I thought I can finally have a normal conversation with crush. He'll see I'm not a creepy weirdo anymore.
Uh-oh, let's see.
Anyway, when I ran into him, our conversation went like this. Me. Hey, crush. How's it going? Him. Good, thanks. How are you? Me. Good, thanks. How are you? And then it just spiraled into awkwardness from there.
What?
Guess some people just bring it out of me.
Oh my god, that was so awkward. Like I can feel the awkwardness and the energy. Oh man, sometimes people just does not know how to have a conversation. Like when you say how are you, like talk about your weekend or something like that. Like make the conversation engaging. But you don't just say how are you, good? How about you, good? Okay, cool. You never go anywhere with this kind of conversation, you know. So just try to make it like engaging.
Drinks. Went back to her hotel. Basically did not leave it for 2 days. Netflix marathon. I felt puzzled that I had ever had a crush on him. Said hi and moved on. We started a small thing when we were around 17 years old. Didn't work out cause she was spoiled and I was pretty heartless asshole. Fast forward a few relationships for us both, 11 years of growth, and she came back into my life a few months ago.
Uh-oh.
The dating and life is pretty good now, couldn't ask for anything more.
That's awesome.
Sometimes it's the right person but the wrong time.
I love that phrase.
Let's see. Met her when I was 13. We totally crushed. Fast forward to when we're both 23. She has a kid from a previous marriage.
Oh,
But it didn't bother me.
okay.
Got married. She cheated.
Oh.
Tried to take me for child support for her daughter. 2/10 would not recommend.
Wow,
I
that's
liked
a
her when we
bad
were 15, but she wasn't nice to me. I ran into her when we were 23 and she looked so old I didn't recognize her. And she realized I didn't recognize her. She began to cry and ran to the bathroom. Never saw her again. Update. Thanks for all the questions. I had rather sad answers to most of you. 1. We definitely weren't at Taco Bell, Aka, the Aphrodite of fast foods. 2. I'm confident she wasn't a faceless man who was accidentally named by her friend. You should check if she's okay in the bathroom. People slip in there sometimes. Edit. Got my first gold. Thank you. I'm sorta currently going through something like this. Dated 2 years ago. She went through a rough patch and I was young and stupid, so she slammed the door on me.
Ooh.
We added each other to Facebook and met recently. It was outstanding. We had really great time and went to her place. I don't know where it goes from now. Gotta be patient and receptive, I guess. I came out of a house party to piss and she was between two parked cars outside blowing two guys. I drunkenly cheered her on, then took a piss on the house.
Wow.
Tried to pull an ultimatum on me in high school. Do this or we're over. I called her bluff and that's how our relationship ended. 10-ish years later we're both single and I visit her on a lark. Turns out she's sleeping with a divorced man and trying to get him to abandon his wife and daughter. Yeah. Also her apartment was absolutely filthy.
Ew.
I mean, I'm no prize, but I've tried to ruin exactly 0 families. She works at a supermarket near me. I said hi one time and have since avoided using it because I'm not the best with repeated social interaction. Edit. Thanks for all the helpful tips, guys. But I avoid her because I don't want to do the hey what's up, how you doing fake an interest in their life interaction. Really. I feel you.
I feel you too.
She didn't recognize me. Or maybe pretended not to. Who knows? Either way felt pretty shitty. Hadn't seen her in 15 years. Ran into each other online. Decided to meet up for dinner. Married
Oh.
now for 5 years and 1 kid.
Wow.
Dinner at Taco Bell. We've been dating nearly a year. He was my sister's best friend and I crushed on him from 2nd grade to 10th. I am high-fiving the hell out of my childhood self now. Most amazing relationship I've ever had. She
That's
was in my
awesome.
class back in kindergarten. In my class again in 3rd grade. Showed her my boxers and she was now my girlfriend. Then I discovered she cheated on me with my best friend. I saw him showing her his underwear.
Oh.
Needless to say, I've moved on from that event in my life.
Wow.
But if you
Wow. Wow. It's you saw him, you saw her, your boxers, and you got a girlfriend, and then your friend was like, okay, I'll show her my underwear too. And then she just changed her mind. Is the underwear like really that attractive?
are out there, Olivia or Matt, FCKU. This comment is weird if you imagine OP as the teacher. Got Thai food. Hung out. Caught up. Pretty chill. Would still FCK her brains out, but I don't think she's into it. Crushed hard and competed for a really cute girl in college, but when she moved in with him I closed the door on things. Years later she sought me out on Facebook as apparently for her. I was the one that got away. It led to a tourbillon again. Off again. Mostly or tryst, in which we determined the things we did best were fighting or effing, which we cycled through quarterly until about a 4-year break due to mutual animosity. We made up. Had an amazing year. And broke up again in a heart-wrenching explosion that stings to this day.
Wow, that's a crazy story.
Super. We originally met my freshman year of high school. His senior year. 3 years later. We met again. I still had a crush. We became really good friends. Then started dating after I graduated. We are now married and have been for over 2 years. With a trip to the clinic. We dated very briefly in college. I was absolutely smitten, but it only lasted a few weeks before he decided he wanted to explore his options and many other ladies v generous. 7 years later we bumped into each other at a bar, both having coincidentally moved to the same city. I had just gone through a bad breakup and he convinced me to let him tend to both my broken heart and my lady garden with some story about how he had harbored feelings for me all of those years. Turns out all he had harbored was genital warts.
Oh.
Will likely be buried forever, but what the hell? Had a crush on this girl in grade school, 1st second. Playdates, video games, action figures. Life was good. Bought her a present at her 5 and 10 because I thought she'd like it. It was a ring. She was ultra embarrassed and ran off. My parents still have not let me forget that. She changed schools, for other reasons, that next year. Fast forward 14 years.
14 years?
Graduated from undergrad. Working for a company in my hometown and working on getting accepted to medical school. Out for drinks one night with friends and who should come by but her? Beautiful. Great taste in music. Smiles at my jokes. Smitten. Fast forward several more years. Gave her a ring again. She did not run away. Happily married several years.
Awesome.
Saw her at the 10-year HS reunion. She was a bit heavier than she'd been in HS. But still attractive. She was there with her Ivy League fiancé registered sign. These two facts combined to change my mindset from I wanna bang my HS crush at our reunion to oh well. Never mind. At one point, we were being recognized for something. And with all eyes on us, she leaned over and said, I remember what a crush you had on me. You wanted me bad. First, I couldn't really react.
Wow.
Given the immediate circumstances. Second, I didn't detect any kind of Taco Bell type invitation in what she'd said, sorry. In fact, it almost seemed like she was just lording it over me. I mean, she was there with her fiancé registered sign. Who? We determined in previous small talk. She eloped in, who was awesome. For some reason. It really pissed me off. I just gave her a blank look, shrugged, and walked away. To this day, I wish I'd had some kind of witty comeback. But that's about my only regret. Haven't seen her since. But I hope she's happy. And blah, blah, blah.
What the heck? That is crazy. Why would the girl say something like that to him? I mean, he was having like a genuine crush on her. And she was like, I know you had a crush on me in high school, but too bad, little boy. I got an Ivy League graduate on me. That was, man, I mean, that girl, it seems like she doesn't have a good heart or something like that, you know?
Turns out she's a crystal healing, vaccination hating wingnut. Met, I dodge a bullet. Good. Went to an underground rave and then my wife and I tag teamed her. She comes to our holiday gatherings now. Well, that turned out very nicely for you. Good. We had tacos. Then did oral stuff in my car behind Taco Bell and haven't spoken since. Interesting marketing strategy from Taco Bell. This is what people keep referencing.
Why is it Taco
We're
Bell?
married now. Had mega crush in high school. Finally contacted him 6 years later since I knew him back then and we haven't been apart since. Now we have been together for 4 years. Married for 1 and have a baby on the way.
Oh.
Dreams really do come true, I don't care how cheesy that sounds. Had a crush on the high school QB. And his family was royalty in my school. It was a very small town that worshipped football and his family had been players going back 4 generations or something like that. Common, but in terms of popularity, this guy wasn't just out of my league. He was out of my stratosphere. Fast forward 10 years. I'm newly single and he looks me up on the book. Flirting plus admitting I had a huge crush on him and school equals date. Effing score for me. Yeah? Yeah. No. I get to his place and he's living in a 300 square foot box. Still driving that 89 pickup from HS. Talking about how he was King Sh. Still caught up in being worshipped in school and clearly couldn't grasp why the real world didn't do the same. Can you believe?
Wow.
Reddit. That he actually had to prove himself. The goddamn nerve of his boss. Ate dinner. The man did grill one hell of a steak, and noped out.
Oh man, I
We
feel
had
so
awesome
bad for
sex and never talked to
for that guy, man. Oh man, he grow a good dinner, thinking about there might be a chance, but no.
each other again. It ruled. Married. Been together for 8 years now. 2 kids. Went pretty dang well, I think. The girl I had a huge crush on in high school was way out of my league back then. But I ran into her about 5 years after graduation and we ended up going out a few times. Sex was incredible. But she was dull. Nothing there beyond her being really hot and great in bed that would make me want to have a serious relationship. So nothing ever came of it. Last I heard she's been in a happy relationship with a good guy for about 4 years now. Which is really nice to know. Reconnected with the one that got away. We were in the beginning of a relationship in high school about 17 and she moved unexpectedly. Was devastated but through chance, mutual friend, reconnected with her. We were 23 or so. First day seeing each other was great for the both of us and it seemed like we were reconnecting beautifully. Hooked up, whispered sweet nothings and had some great sex. Then reality set in and we took a road trip together. Where she became a crazy bitch.
Oh.
She seemed to have a prescription pill addiction which was likely the source. The takeaway is that we generally remember the things we want to about people and I always thought about meeting her again. We did try to reconnect one last time but she went full psycho.
Oh.
She called or texted me about a year or so ago. We reconnected probably 3 years ago. Wasn't going to deal with her again and was glad I ignored deleted her number. Edit. This thread is the reason I'm glad I asked my crush out and found out it was horrible. I had a crush on the daughter of my mom's friend when I was about 10 years. We would hang out a lot. Sometimes all night when our moms were working together at the coat check of the restaurant my dad valeted for. She was definitely my first big crush. But I was a shy, awkward kid. I remember one of the last times we hung out. I gave her my favorite Lion King trading card because I like her. After our moms got new jobs, we didn't see each other anymore. The next time I saw her was when we were 18. She was really different and even though she was still really cute, I didn't feel the same way about her. We talked for a bit and caught up. She showed me pictures of her son. Apparently she had gotten pregnant when she was 17 and had a beautiful baby boy that her mom looked after so she could finish school.
Wow.
It was a nice experience. Especially finding out what she had been up to all those years.
Okay,
Well-
some babes, I feel like some people, they have like babies way too quick, but it's just personal decision, right? So yeah, that is about the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoy these kind of reactions, kind of stories. It's really fun for me to kind of listen to them because I did if you experience like bumping into your ex or stuff like that, leave in the comment section below. I never bumped into my ex before, but yeah, so yeah, it's really interesting to hear how the story turned out. Some turned out pretty bad, but some turned out really well. Like they bumped into an ex and they got married, you know. So it's sometimes it's really good, you know. But sometimes it's just neutral. You might just call out with your ex and then see what she been doing, what he been doing, you know. It's just like live update. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button to turn on notifications. My name is Calvin and I'll see you guys next video.